I'm interested in the world in 60 seconds today. Poor Biggie came out here earlier and said,
He hung his head. I've never seen anything like it.
I know, he said, I've cobbled together this world in 60 seconds. And he said, I was looking for some good news, and there just isn't any out there. We're a nation that is fighting amongst itself, and poor Biggie.
Horrible things keep happening everywhere.
And even
today, I was like, let me find something inspirational and uplifting. There's nothing.
You couldn't find it.
There's nothing. I mean, things, frankly, are just bad.
Yeah, it's a difficult time, to watch the news. And, yesterday, this is, in fact, they're having those January 6th hearings, of course. Now, you know what I did with that story. You know that the day that story happened, on January 6th,
yes,
I was sitting and watching Friends. My wife was not there. She was at work. I was by myself watching Friends. I didn't know anything was going on. I had no idea. I did not.
You hadn't heard whispers?
I mean, I heard there might be something. I was like, I don't think anything's going to happen here. Right. That's watch Friends. That's what I do in the afternoon.
Umbrella up.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're like the... You have the same mindset of the guy like on the third floor of the Capitol, the security guard there.
What was his?
But I don't think anything's going to happen.
Hands
some
in
rumblings
pockets.
or something. Yeah,
I
just
guess
hanging out. Yeah.
I had heard rumblings of this, but I was at that point, I was so anti-politics, period, because there was all that fight over the election, was it fixed, and all that. And I did not believe, I have no reason to believe that any part of that election was rigged, and all of that is just going on. I was just like, oh gosh, just background noise to me. It's just
Take me away, Jennifer Aniston's nipples.
Right. Bam.
Yeah.
So, good season. I'm right in the middle of season 2, and I was like, this is perfect. And my phone buzzes. Bzz, bzz, what's going on? Let me see. Chris Demm texts. He's like, oh, no, Biggie texts. He's like, it's the end of the world. Biggie texts and said, this is the end of the world. And I was like, wonder what he means by that.
Pretty sure we're going to have a king shortly. I think we just became a monarchy.
I was like, I wonder what he means by that. Oh, well, put it down. Whatever.
Biggie.
Sometimes he jokes. I don't get jokes.
That's not uncommon.
They're totally over my head. Sometimes they're completely over my head. Example, last night, playing pickle, okay? I'm wearing a Broncos shirt, Denver Broncos. My friend across the court is wearing a Miami Dolphins shirt. And my friend goes, this is the AFC Championship game this season. And I was like, I didn't realize I was wearing the Denver shirt. I was like, yeah, man. I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? I was like, so I'm trying to think in my head who played or who's playing in the AFC.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're bringing up football.
I got home stripping off my perspired on shirt. I'm like, oh.
Now I get it.
Yeah. All right, sitting there, Biggie says, in the world just ended. It's like, all right. So back to Friends. Unpause.
Chandler.
No one told me life was gonna be this way. The Capitol is on fire, but I'll worry about another day.
So, Chris Demm texts. He's like, man, Trump is throwing gas all over this fire. And I was like, I wonder what he means by that.
Oh, well. This one's got Gunther in it.
Demm's such a drama queen.
Love it when they're in the coffee house.
Then, a dear friend of mine, who is a staunch Republican, texts me and goes, we just lost the high ground. And I said, I wonder what he means by that. What's going on,
Yeah.
Would you think TBS would cut in with something like that? Or
They got out of the minute updates they did back in the 80s between when they showed Braves games.
Right, yeah. I thought maybe a little something. So I flip over to CBS. And there's just this riot going on. And I'm just like, oh, man, look at this. And then I said, I can't take it. I flip right back to Friends. Okay. And, of course, I've seen in the aftermath what's going on. But I'm just so, over it. Yesterday, a woman testified. She's worked for one of the
She was a staffer for Meadows. Mark Meadows.
Mark Meadows. Who was chief of staff
for Trump. Her name is Cassidy Hutchinson. And this is what caught my ear. This is really the first of the testimony I've even seen. With the testimony on,
I've never seen it before. I mean, in our office, your ears actually pricked up at something from the hearings.
Yeah, it did.
Which have been going on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks of hearings, and of course the whole
bombshell testimony. Bombshell. I'm
just not doing it. I'm just not watching it. So, but I guess if people are.
But today you did.
Well, because this woman, Trump wanted to go to the Capitol. That's what she's testifying. He was in the presidential limo and took the wheel. He lunged at the wheel to take me to the Capitol while this was going on. And whoever the official was in there with him said,
Secret Service driver
said we cannot.
Grabbed his arm and said, you got to take your hand off this wheel.
And said, this is unsafe. You cannot go over there. And Trump's like, I'm the president of the United States.
He kept saying they're not going to hurt me.
Yeah, he goes, I'm the president. And so they didn't take him. They said, we got to go back to the West Wing. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Is the Secret Service the only people that can disobey the president? I mean, if he tells somebody to do something, they have to do it, don't they? Generally, if they're a cabinet member,
they're in charge of his security,
his
personal security.
So they can.
I mean, they can't turn the key or anything, but they can move him around.
As portrayed, season 2, episode 1 of The West Wing. Okay. President had been shot. They're in the limo, and he goes, "Take me back to the White House," and they're like, "No, we're taking you to the hospital." He goes, "Take me to the White," and they're like, "No," and they took him to the hospital. Yeah.
Also portrayed in Air Force One.
Yes,
Harrison Ford.
Yes,
they try to push him to the escape pod, but it can only be him, not his family, and he pretends to get in the escape pod, but doesn't.
That did not.
But the whole thing is, you're always looked at. It's the office. You're the president.
Yes, right.
They're not looking at you as
the person.
As a person, they're looking at you as the office.
Side note,
you're the government.
That's right.
Yeah.
Side note, the pod should hold 8, in my opinion. In the
8, your squirrely ass would get in. If you were one of the crooked advisors or something, please.
Yeah, you're Ismay on the Titanic, the guy that built it, that jumped in the lifeboat.
Let me in. I'm Department of Interior.
Please.
Yeah. You're going down with the plane.
Lower it.
Yeah.
I should get in.
I'm a secretary.
I need to get in.
I sit at the cabinet table.
He appointed me.
Nah, man. Seat's taken.
Sorry.
I'm the ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago.
Can I?
No.
Seat's taken.
Taken.
Don't get in. So, yes, so this woman, Cassidy Hutchins.
No, we should also point out, too, that I think several Secret Service agents who were there that day say that that's not what.
Oh, that's right.
Her testimony is not accurate.
That's right.
But she swore that that's
and
accurate.
Trump is saying this is not accurate.
Yeah, he's saying she, if you disliked me so much. And
she's Looney Tunes.
Yeah, why did you beg me for a job as soon as I was out of office? You wanted to come with me to Mar-a-Lago.
Here's when my ears really pricked up. This is it. Now, she said something about food and ketchup.
That actually happened a month prior.
Okay, so she said this before.
Well, the ketchup incident was a month prior.
All right, but she said something about ketchup, and I turned to Chris Demm and said, "What's she say? What she said about ketchup?"
You grabbed the remote for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, and Chris Demm goes,
it up.
Chris Demm said, "You went through all of January 6th, the whole everything about it. You're watching Friends." She says something about ketchup. You want to see it now?
That's all it took.
Yes. Here's what happened. Before any of this happened.
This is when the Attorney General told Trump that he found no evidence of any malfeasance in the election.
That's right. Bill Barr walked in and said, "Mr. President, that's a tough one."
We got no proof.
What?
There's no evidence.
What?
We've been looking.
So they asked her, what did the president do when Bill Barr said, "We got no proof"?
I first noticed there was ketchup dripping down the wall, and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor. The valet had articulated that the president was extremely angry and had thrown his lunch against the wall.
Sir, I don't want to tell you this, but those were Mary Lincoln's plates. You just shattered history.
Well, the thing is, this very young lady, she's like 25, 26 years old.
Is she that young? Yeah.
Yeah, and you would think, if she'd have said there was an aioli dripping down the wall or some sort of a delicious béarnaise sauce, you'd know she's lying.
Right.
But ketchup?
Yeah, maybe it's true.
That's Trump's calling card.
Maybe it's true.
So ketchup blew up the internet. It was all over Twitter, all over Facebook. Ketchup.
Really?
Ketchup.
Really?
I didn't find it that big of a deal.
That he threw his lunch against the wall?
Yeah.
What about there's chicken fingers and tater tots on the floor around it?
Somebody's got
That's
clean
what
that
I'm more interested in. Where's he putting his ketchup?
What was it paired with?
I know sometimes they'll put it on a steak.
Yeah, see, I was thinking burger or steak.
Burger and fries. I thought
Yeah.
burger and fries. But something's on the floor, along with a bunch of broken pieces of Mary Lincoln's china.
She was a nut anyway.
Somebody's down there on hands and knees. Bill Barr's like picking up the chicken.
We need the Gorilla Glue. A lot of it.
Yeah.